Welcome to all. Today we see the important biochemical pathway that is called the glycolysis. I hope we are well known that the all living organism for their functioning, the energy is needed. That energy is derived from the glucose molecules. Whatever the metabolic activities occurred inside the cell, the organism or each and every cell requires energy. That energy is derived from glucose. Yes, glucose is an important fuel for all living organisms. First, in glycolysis is the first step of the recovering energy by the cell. Let me see one by one. The glycolysis is not only providing energy to the living organism, but it also forms a precursor for the other components. Example, what are the major pathway or what are the major utilization of this glucose molecule? Whenever this glucose compound or the glucose molecule is largely present in our cell, it automatically or spontaneously converted into glycogen, starch, or in sucrose. Glycogen is a animal sugar, is stored animal sugar. Starch and sucrose are stored in the plants. Then this glucose is via glycolysis, it oxidized via glycolysis, it forms a pyruvate compound. Or in plants and some other organisms, these glucose molecules are oxidized via pentose phosphate pathway. It's called ribose 5 phosphate. This is the major pathway of glucose utilization in all living organisms. In the world, whatever the organism it may be, the organisms, the living ones, must utilize the glucose in these three major pathways. One is storage pathway, that is called glycogen or starch and sucrose, and oxidized via glycolysis, that is from that step the cell get the pyruvate, and the oxidation via pentose phosphate pathway. In that pathway, the cells requires the ubulose 5 phosphate. This ubulose 5 phosphate is a major component to build a genetic material, whatever it may be a DNA or RNA. The genetic material requirement, the pentose phosphate pathway is very, very important. Right, let me see the glycolysis. It's an important step, important pathway for all living organisms to get energy from the glucose. From Greek word, the glycos means sweet, lysis means splitting. So the splitting of glucose molecule. Through the splitting, the cell or the organism get energy. The overall definition for glycolysis is a molecule of glucose is degraded in a series of enzyme catalysis reaction. A enzyme catalyzed reaction, finally, it yields two molecules of three-carbon compound that is called pyruvate. So, this glucose molecule is oxidized through this enzyme catalyzed reaction and forms the three-carbon compound pyruvate. Let me see one by one. Generally, this glycolysis process contains two major phases. One is preparatory phase, another one is payoff phase. In preparatory phase, two ATP molecules are invested. That means two ATP molecules are required to do this preparatory phase. In this preparatory phase, one molecule of 6-carbon glucose is divided into or claved into or split into two molecules of tyrose phosphate. That phase is called preparatory phase. Second, payoff phase. In this payoff phase, two molecules of tyrose phosphate which get from the preparatory phase, now it is reduced or it converted or it oxidized into two molecules of pyruvate. Here, 2 ATP is synthesized. That means 4 ATPs are synthesized. 2 ATPs are already utilized in preparatory phase. So the final net amount of ATP is 2 ATPs is obtained through this process. Let me see one by one. The preparatory phase In preparative pairs, glucose molecule, 6-carbon glucose compound is splitted or break down into two molecules of one molecules of glyceraldehyde triphosphate and one molecules of diketoxyacetone phosphate. That means two molecules of thiose phosphate is obtained through this preparative phase. It is the overall equation. Through this overall equation, you may clearly see a 6-carbon compound of this glucose is splitted or break down into one molecules of glyceraldehyde triphosphate and one molecules of diketoxyacetone phosphate. Let me see what are the steps involved to break down of one molecules of glucose into two molecules of thiose phosphate. Okay, let me see one by one. The first step, 6-carbon glucose is oxidation. I hope you are well known that what is oxidation and what is reduction. Okay? The 6 molecules of glucose molecule is oxidized and forms a glucose 6-phosphate. This reaction is called first priming reaction. From this reaction or for this reaction, the enzyme is occurred. The first enzyme is hexokinase. Hexo means the glucose is a hexo sugar. So the kinase enzyme is called hexokinase. The kinase enzyme, kinase is a general transferase enzyme. This enzyme transfers a phosphoryl group to one molecule. Transfer the phosphoryl group to the substrate or transfer the phosphoryl group to the component. So here the one ATP molecule is occurred or one ATP molecule is gives phosphate or transfer phosphate to the glucose and the ATP molecule becomes ADP. Adenosine triphosphate became adenosine diphosphate and also the glucose molecule becomes a glucose 6-phosphate. Here the magnesium is an important compound because why here magnesium is important for doing this reaction? This glucose to glucose 6-phosphate reaction is irreversible. The reaction is not converted into reverse. It is irreversible process. In the process, for the kinase, wherever the kinase enzyme is formed to split ATP into ADP, there the magnesium is an important substrate. The magnesium is needed. Why magnesium is needed? That means normally ATP molecule, the adenosine triphosphate, the 3-phosphate molecules are not sealed. It is sealed by the magnesium compound. Magnesium compound sealed the negativity of phosphate which present in adenosine triphosphate. I hope you are well known that the phosphate structure, in phosphate structure the more number of negativity is present. So that we call it is nucleophile. In that negativity is shielded or that negativity is protected by this magnesium compound. So this magnesium helps to the activity of this adenosine triphosphate. That means this magnesium compound shield the negativity of phosphate which is present in the adenosine group and also it helps to transfer of phosphate from the ATP to ADP. So finally one glucose molecule is converted into glucose 6-phosphate. Whenever the new phosphate group is added, that added into a ketoaxyl group, mainly in the physical group. In glucose molecule, the OH group or this ketoaxyl group present in the 6th carbon atom. So the released phosphoryl group is directly added to the 6th carbon. Then the glucose molecule becomes a glucose 6-phosphate. In that reaction, the standard free energy change is negativity. Yes, it is minus 16.7 kilojoule per mole. The minus or the negativity of standard free energy change indicate this reaction is exergonic. That means energy is released. Whenever the produced compound is negativity or whenever in one reaction the free energy change is in negativity, there the product is less the product has less free energy than the reactant. So glucose now it has a less free energy than the reactant. Why the phosphoryl group is added to this glucose molecule? Because there are so many reasons. Here I tell only one reason. In the cytoplasm, whenever this phosphate group is added, the plasma membrane, which present around the cell, this product around the cell, this plasma membrane does not have the transporters to transport the phosphoryl compound or the phosphorylated compound. The phosphorylated compound present inside the cell, that phosphorylated compounds cannot transfer easily from one cell to another cell. For that main reason, the phosphate group is added to the glucose. So it makes a glucose compound present within the cell. That glucose compound cannot escape easily from that cell. For the main reason, the phosphate group is added. It is the first step. Then the second step. In second step, the glucose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate. For this conversion, the phosphoketoisomerase enzyme is needed. This reaction is reversible. Even this reaction also, magnesium is an important compound. Why this glucose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate? What is necessary to conversion of glucose 6-phosphate to fructose 6-phosphate in the second step? Is this step is very, very important? Yes. This step is very, very important because for conversion of aldose group into ketones, because you know what is aldose group? Aldose group means the carbonyl group present, the carbonyl compound present in the first carbon atom, it is called aldose group. If the same carbonyl group present in the second carbon atom, it is called ketose group. For example, C double bond O is a carbonyl group. Okay, C double bond O is a carbonyl group. If C double bond O present in the first carbon atom, that compound is called aldose. If C double bond O present is a carbonyl group, this C double bond O present in the second carbon atom, that is called keto group. Here, the glucose 6-phosphate is a aldose compound. It's a ketose sugar. Is converted into pentose sugar. Fructose 6-phosphate is a pentose. Okay, it is a pentagonal in structure. In pentagonal structure, C double bond O, that means a carbonyl group present in the second carbon atom, not a first carbon atom. Why this change is necessary? Because this change is very, very necessary due to the cleavage of third carbon and fourth carbon. The cleavage between third and fourth carbon in the next step. There, this type of ketose, the ketose structure becomes a pentose. The aldose sugar becomes a ketose sugar. That is very, very important. And also the addition of another one phosphate group into a first carbon atom. There, one hydroxyl group is free. For this free hydroxyl group is present in the first carbon atom. For easiest transfer of phosphoryl group to the first carbon atom, this keto group should be formed so that the glucose 6-phosphate aldose sugar is converted into fructose 6-phosphate keto sugar. From this conversion, the free energy changes plus it is positivity. It is positive 1.7 kilojoule per mole. Here no net energy is changed, but inside the compound, the free energy is changed. So here the product contains more free energy than the reactant. That means the fructose 6-phosphate get more free energy than glucose 6-phosphate. It is an important step. In glycolysis, the second step is very, very important for the next continuity of this glycolysis. Okay, remind that because it helps to break down between a third carbon and the fourth carbon. Okay, let me see in detail. Then the fructose 6-phosphate again phosphorylated into forms a fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. This reaction is called second priming reaction. The first priming reaction is glucose is converted into glucose 6-phosphate is the first priming reaction. The second priming reaction is fructose 6-phosphate converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. For this reaction, phosphofructokinase 1. Remember phosphofructokinase 1, the enzyme phosphofructokinase 1. The kinase 1 enzyme transfer the phosphate to the first carbon atom. there is the one enzyme is there. That enzyme is phosphofructokinase 2. This phosphofructokinase 2 makes the phosphorylation of the phosphorylation in second carbon atom. That transfer a phosphate group to the second carbon atom. This phosphofructokinase present in the some of the microorganisms. In this reaction, also one ATP molecule is converted into ADP, and the fructose 6-phosphate is phosphorylated into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. There also the free energy change is negativity. The free energy change is minus 14.2 kilojoule per molecule. You see here this fructose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. The phosphate group is added to the first carbon atom also. So the first carbon atom and the sixth carbon atom is contain the phosphoryl group. This fourth step, in this fourth step is a cleavage step. It's a cleavage of 6-carbon sugar phosphate or 6-carbon sugar phosphate to 3-carbon sugar phosphate. The fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is cleaved. For the cleavage, for the splitting, the required enzyme is, or the needed enzyme is aldolase. Aldolase is an important enzyme. This enzyme makes a cleavage or makes a splitting of the fructose 1,6-bisphosphate into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and the diatoxyacetone phosphate. In this reaction, the product glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and also diatoxyacetone phosphate contains more free energy than the product fructose 1,6 than the reactant fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. See the standard free energy change is 20 positivity. It's a positive 23.8 kilojoule per mole. Whenever the free energy change is positivity, it indicates the product of the overall equation contains more free energy than the reactant. Okay, the product is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and diatoxyacetone phosphate, and the reactant is fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. So the fructose 1,6-bisphosphate is doing this cleavage, or with the help of the aldolase enzyme, it forms a glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and also diatoxyacetone phosphate. Here see the cleavage. This cleavage, the kexose form of sugar converted into pentose form. This kexose form and the pentose form, this conversion is changed in the second step, where the glucose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate by the isomers, the phosphofructose isomerase enzyme. You see, for this breakdown, the fructose 1,6-bisphosphate breakdown into diatoxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. In this breakdown, the first formed compound is diatoxyacetone phosphate. The first 3 carbon 1, 2, 3, the first 3 carbon forms here diatoxyacetone phosphate. And the next 2 carbon, the 4th, 5th, and 6th, okay, the cleavage makes, or the breakdown, the bond breakage makes between the third and the 4th carbon atom. In between 3rd and 4th carbon atom, the bonds are break and forms a diatoxyacetone phosphate and also glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. You see, first formed compound is diatoxyacetone phosphate. Diatoxyacetone phosphate is a ketose. It's a ketose form because the carbonyl will be present in the second carbon atom. And the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is a aldose form. Here the carbonyl will be present in the first carbon atom. You see, the carbonyl will be present in the first carbon atom. Here the carbonyl will be present in the second carbon atom. Okay, it is the main step. It is the main step of the preparatory phase. The diatoxyacetone phosphate is reversibly converted into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate because at the time of cleavage, one molecule is directly converted into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. And another one molecule is converted to diatoxyacetone phosphate. Now, this diatoxyacetone phosphate, this ketose form, should convert into a aldose form. That is an important step. For the step, the triose phosphate isomerase. This enzyme is a reversible enzyme. This enzyme reversibly forms the diatoxyacetone phosphate to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. This reversible enzyme forms the two diagetic acetone phosphate into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. The aldose compound, the ketose compound became aldose. Here also the free energy change is positivity. Is a positive of 7.5 kilojoule per molecule. Yeah, the ketose molecule has been phosphorylated at the first and the second carbon atom, then cleaved into two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. It is the preparatory space. Up to that, the preparatory space is completed. So the preparatory space, 6 molecules of glucose compound phosphorylated at the first carbon atom and also sixth carbon atom, and is divided or cleaved into forms 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Now, up to that, the preparatory phase is finished. Now, we see the payoff phase. In this payoff phase, what will happen in this payoff phase? In this payoff phase, 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted into 2 molecules of pyruvate. That is called payoff phase. Let me see what are the action takes place in this payoff phase. The first step, that means here, 6th reaction in glycolysis and the first reaction in payoff phase. Here the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. At the time, the involved enzyme is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. In this reaction, 2 steps is take place. One is oxidation, another one is phosphorylation. The first one is oxidation, another one is phosphorylation. Here, which is phosphorylated? The glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is phosphorylated into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is phosphorylated into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. The oxidation means the NAD, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. You see, it is a nicotinamide compound. The nicotinamide compound, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, is oxidized to form nicotinamide adenine dihydrogen nucleotide. It is phosphorylated. This step is very, very important because whenever our cell is oxidized NAD into NADH, that cell NAD is only limited form. The amount of NAD plus is limited inside the cell. If it is oxidized, the next glycolysis process is stopped. The final product of pyruvate or this NADH is transferred the energy to the mitochondria. There, through the electron transport system, it became through the electron transport system, it gives energy to the cell. That time it is reduced. So this oxidation and the reduction process is very, very important in this cell. Okay, yeah. So here the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is the forms a 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Can you see in this equation, this glyceraldehyde, it is a 2 molecules. 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate forms a 2 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate because 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde phosphate is formed through the preparatory space. It's a glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, it's a phosphate, 1 inorganic, 2 inorganic phosphate. 2 inorganic phosphates are added in the glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate into a first carbon atom. So, and also in third carbon atom, 1 phosphate will be present. So, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is now becomes a 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Here, the standard phase energy change is 6.3 kilojoule per mole. In the 7th step, 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, 2 molecules in this bracket it is mentioned 2. That means 2 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is now converted into 3-phosphoglycerate, 2 molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate. It is first ATP forming reaction. Yeah, it is the first ATP forming because through the glycolysis, where the first ATP is formed. The first ATP is formed in the 7th step. It's formed in the 7th step of glycolysis. In 7th step, when the 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is dephosphorylated into 3-phosphoglycerate. For that, the enzyme phosphoglycerate kinase is involved. This enzyme is also the magnesium dependent enzyme, the magnesium dependent reactant. Here, 2-ADP molecule is involved, and the 2-ADP molecule is get reduced to form say, 2 molecules of ATP. See, in this reaction, we will understood that the glycolysis, the only this phosphoglycerate, the first carbon atom, the phosphate, the first carbon which contains this phosphate group is transferred to the ADP. That means the adenosine triphosphate. Then adenosine triphosphate became the adenosine diphosphate became adenosine triphosphate, or the ADP became ATP forms, and only one phosphate group present in the third carbon atom, so that it becomes a glycerol. The 1-bisphosphoglycerate becomes 3-phosphoglycerate. Here the standard free energy change is minus 18.5. It is a hexagonic process. Minus means whenever the free energy change is negativity, it means the process is hexagonic. That means energy is released. Now this 3-phosphoglycerate, two molecules of 3-phosphoglycerate is converted into 2 molecules of 2-phosphoglycerate. The phosphate group is interchanged between the chemical compound, the phosphate molecules is interchanged. It is simply shifted to the phosphate molecule from one carbon atom to another carbon atom. Okay, the total free energy is changed. The total free energy is not changed, but the changed free energy is within the system. The energy is utilized within the system. Further, the phosphoglycerate mutase, the enzyme phosphoglycerate mutase is involved. At the time, this phosphoglycerate mutase is phosphorylated enzyme. This phosphorylated enzyme contains a histidine subunit. First, this histidine, for this reaction, the 2 subreaction is there. The 3-phosphoglycerate not directly converted into 2-phosphoglycerate. In between, one reaction is present. That means this phosphoglycerate mutase is a histidine phosphorylated enzyme. This histidine phosphorylated enzyme first join to the second carbon atom. Then this 3-phosphoglycerate becomes. That means a second carbon atom is phosphorylated. This phosphorylated phosphate comes from the enzyme phosphoglycerate mutase. It is phosphorylated. Then it becomes 2,3-bisphosphoglycerate. It became 2,3-bisphosphoglycerate. It contains phosphate group in second carbon atom and also third carbon atom. So it's called 2,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Then again, this 3-phospho, the phosphate group which present in the third carbon atom that are transferred from the 2,3-bisphosphoglycerate to the phosphoglycerate mutase. That means that enzyme. So the phosphate group is attached from the enzyme to the 3-phosphoglycerate, and the phosphate group which present in the 3-phosphoglycerate is transferred to the enzyme again. So the enzyme the phosphoglycerate mutane is again regenerated. It is again generated. Okay, it is again generated. This so that the enzyme, the cell, the erythrocyte which present in our blood, the blood cell contains a more number of bisphosphoglycerate, 2,3-bisphosphoglycerate. If you see in any book, the 2,3-bisphosphoglycerate is simply mentioned as bisphosphoglycerate. That means the second carbon atom and also third carbon atom is phosphorylated. It is immediately transferred to the third carbon phosphate to the enzyme, so that the 3-phosphoglycerate is converted into 2-phosphoglycerate. Here also the standard free energy change is 4.4 kilojoule per mole. Now, the 2-phosphoglycerate, this 2-phosphoglycerate becomes a phosphoenol pyruvate. Further, it is a 9th step of glycolysis. In that step, one water molecule is removed from 2-phosphoglycerate. For the removal of water molecule, enolase is an important enzyme. Enolase is it is also a reversible enzyme too, because it again the phosphoenol pyruvate becomes a 2-phosphoglycerate. The enolase enzyme is functioned to add a water molecule. We will see that type of reaction in gluconeogenesis. Okay, the enolase enzyme which involved here to remove the water content. How the water content is removed? Here, see this equation. In the 2-phosphoglycerate, the hydrogen from the second carbon atom and the hydroxyl group, the OH group means hydroxyl group. The hydrogen in second carbon atom and the OH group, the hydroxyl group in third carbon atoms are removed from 2-phosphoglycerate. Then here, this in between second and third carbon atom, the new bond is formed. The double bond is formed between second and the third carbon atom. So the 2-phosphoglycerate is converted into 2-phosphoenol pyruvate. 2-phosphoglycerate is now converted to phosphoenol pyruvate. Okay, also the free energy is changes positivity 7.5 kilojoule per mole. It is a final step in glycolysis. In final step, phosphoenol pyruvate, 2 molecules of phosphoenol pyruvate becomes a 2 molecules of pyruvate. It is a second ATP forming reaction. The first ATP forming reaction means when the 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate becomes a 3-phosphoglycerate. It's a first ATP forming reaction. The second ATP forming reaction is in last step, the phosphoenol pyruvate is converted into pyruvate. This reaction is dependent of magnesium and potassium. Even in manganese, magnesium, potassium, and manganese. These three components is very, very important to conducing this type of enzyme. That means the pyruvate kinase. Here, 2 ATP molecule is converted into 2 ADP molecule because one phosphate group is removed from the phosphoenol pyruvate. You see, in the second carbon, the phosphate group is present. This phosphate group is simply transferred to the adenosine diphosphate. Then the adenosine diphosphate became the adenosine triphosphate. See, it is a pyruvate. From the phosphoenol pyruvate, the pyruvate molecule is formed. In this reaction, it is more change in free energy. The free energy change is very high. The large free energy is change in this reaction. You see, in that reaction, the free energy change is minus 31.4 kilojoule per mole. At the time of phosphoenol pyruvate into pyruvate, the first formed pyruvate is a enol form. You see, the first formed pyruvate into is a enol form. Enol form means the carbonyl group, that means C double bond O is present in the first carbon atom. Then it is tautomized because the enol form is not stabilized in this group. So the enol is converted into ketone. Like that, the glucose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate. Like that. Because the glucose 6-phosphate is a aldose form. This aldose converted into ketone. The same method, the same way. The pyruvate, the enol form, the first form, the enol pyruvate is tautomized and forms a pyruvate, is a ketone form. That means carbonyl group C double bond O present in the second carbon atom. Let me see. The overall balance sheet shows a net gain of ATP. Here, see the 1 glucose molecule, 2 ATP, 2 NAD plus, and 4 ADP, 2 inorganic phosphates are involved to form a 2 pyruvate and 2 ATP molecule, 2 NADH, and 2 hydrogen ions. And also 4 ATP plus 2 molecules of water is removed. Now we balance now we remove the same component in the each side. Final, the net equation for glycolysis is glucose plus 2 NAD plus and 2 ADP plus 2 inorganic phosphate. It forms here 2 pyruvate and 2 NADH plus 2 H plus 2 ATP plus 2 H2O. Finally, through this glycolysis, 2 molecules of ATP is formed. Generally, 4 molecules of ATP formed, 2 molecules is utilized. 2 molecules is utilized in the preparative space. 4 molecules is formed in the pair-off space. In pair-off phase, the first ATP molecule is formed in 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate to 3-phosphoglycerate, and second one is phosphoenol the conversion of phosphoenol pyruvate to pyruvate compound. That time the 2 ATP is formed. So finally 4 ATP is produced. Yeah, it's formed. Now thank you. The glycolysis is an important process. I hope you are well understood about the glycolysis. If you have any doubt or if you have more clarification, you feel free comment in the chat box. I will clarify your doubt. And also, in coming videos, we will see the gluconeogenesis and the pentose phosphate pathway and what are the important metabolism activities present in the inside the cell. Let me see one by one. Thank you. See you again.